Hey everyone, I'm Donald Sutton.
My name is Casey Scarborough.
And good morning, Wayne County and Goldsboro. It is going to be a great day. Who cares what the weather looks like? If it's sunny, if it's rainy, I don't care. I'm alive.
Amen.
Yes. So, how are you doing lately?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. You know what? Actually, let's introduce ourselves more than just our names.
All right.
So, right now, I am actually the summer intern for WGTV today. And I am in the studio helping out with Wayne Alley and Barbara Arnston, and this is my time to come on and say hello to everyone out there.
I'm a friend of Donald. He brought me on to help co-host a show with him. I usually actually work at a store called Journeys in the mall. They sell shoes and stuff. And in the fall, once that starts, I'll become a full-time pirate at ECU, so that's where my life's headed.
Oh, you'll be a pirate at ECU. That sounds interesting. Now, what are you going to ECU for?
I'm going to double major, actually, in political science and professional acting. So I know they're totally at different ends of the spectrums, but...
Well, you know, I mean, you can use them for the same things every now and then. You can get into the mind whenever you're as a lawyer, and you can really get into the character of whoever.
You know, you'd really be surprised how much that they go hand in hand. A lot of the times, a lawyer's job is to make sure that the jury is feeling the emotions that they're feeling so they can go on their side, and that's what an actor typically does, is makes the audience feel whatever emotion they're trying to portray. So,
well, there you go. See, exactly. That's how it goes hand in hand. Me, I want to go to, I'm going into my senior year, for all of you that don't know. I'm a little baby when it comes to my friends, because they're all grades ahead of me. They're all going off to college. And I'm just sitting here crying as they leave, and bon voyage. But I'm going into my senior year at Wayne Early Middle College High School. I'll graduate with a 2-year associate's degree, along with my high school education. And then when I go to college, which I don't know where I want to go yet.
He's got time.
I do have time. When I go, I want to double major in psychology and musical theater. Now that is really fun. I think that's going to be great because then I can analyze every character I ever have.
Exactly. It's just double majors galore, so...
It is.
I think that's a smart thing to do. That way you have 2 equal degrees and you have 2 career paths you can go down, so if one doesn't work out and you're not happy with it, you have another one right next door you can go to, so...
Well, the acting, for me, and I'm sure for you as well, that is what I really want to do, but the psychology is a backup.
You know, for me, it's actually a little bit switched. With my political science degree afterwards, I have to go on to graduate school wherever they may be. I'm not sure yet. Chapel Hill, maybe somewhere. And I have to go and get my law degree so that way I can actually practice with law. So
really?
That is my primary.
Now, we both brought up acting. Where did our acting roots begin? Would you like to?
I think both of our acting roots began with Stage Struck Children's Theater, located actually in the heart of downtown Goldsboro.
It sure did. That is the truth. What is your first experience with Stage Struck? Because I have mine, and I'll tell mine in just a few minutes, but come on, give me yours.
My first experience was all the way back in 2006 with The Boyfriend. I was a little waitress maid in training, and you know, I didn't actually have any lines or anything, but my first director was RV, as we all like to call him. His real name is Russell Vacanti, and he took me right under his wing. He made me feel really important with just a small part that didn't have any lines, and you know, it was a really fun part, and I fell in love with it. The minute I did it, I couldn't stop, and I've been doing theater ever since.
And you know, mine, I started out with just music. You know, I sang, and on occasions I sang a little bit. Every now and then I sang, but I was going for voice lessons. My mother was actually going. She was going to sign me up for voice lessons down there at Stage Struck, and they were having auditions for Miracle on 34th Street. This was back in, would you say 2009?
Yes.
Yes, 2009, and I went to audition for Miracle. I got a role as a radio announcer, had about 3 to 4 lines, and I've been doing theater ever since, and I have not stopped doing a show whenever there's one available. And then we got into Center Stage, didn't we?
Center Stage Theater. Now that's actually an adults theater. It's technically adults, but children can do it as well. It's for people of all ages, no matter how old or how young, and they do wonderful shows. Like in the past, I think they've done a Willy Wonka, like with the Chocolate Factory, with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and what else have they done? 3 Musketeers, so a lot of you know that. Great story.
We have the annual production of Christmas Carol.
Annual production of Christmas Carol every single year. This year will be our 6th year, I think. 6th year. And we have the director, Vincent Bridgers, who works down there at the Paramount Theater, and then assistant director, yours truly. Now, the dates for that, auditions, you know, since I'm the assistant director, I have to give it a plug every now and then.
The auditions for that are going to be September 30th and October 1st. Now, the show dates, for anyone superstitious out there, got to watch out for them, because it's December Friday the 13th.
True.
But then it's December 14th and 15th. So nothing happens on Saturday the 14th or Sunday the 15th.
Exactly.
But you know what? We have some great interviews coming up. And we have Wayne Alley and Kim Best coming on for those interviews then. And are you ready to go ahead and turn it over to them?
Ready when you are.
All right.
Hello and welcome back to Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best, your host. Joining me today is Jose Martinez. He is the Director of Public Works for the City of Goldsboro. Welcome to the show, Jose.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Well, we have had a tremendous amount of rain over the past few weeks.
We have.
Tell us how that has affected Public Works and what have the people in the city seen?
Well, we are getting ready to get into a hurricane season. We're actually in it now, and I actually wanted to talk to you about that for a few things. First, I want everyone to know that we don't really have a problem with back flooding, that's the river filling up and then going to our streets, but we do have problems with localized flooding, and what that is different. What that is locally a storm drainage pipe might get clogged, or the inlet might get clogged. So we don't know certain areas that are bad for that because it's random. It's how much leaves get put on that day if there's construction upstream. So if there's any citizens that see that, please let us know. And
how will the community know if you all are aware of a particular area that is stopped up or clogged up?
if there is flooding there, we've been notified about it. We will actually have gone out and put cones on it. So if you don't see orange cones, we don't know about it. So please
Okay.
give us a call.
And the number that they'll call will be at the bottom of the screens. They'll see that. So if there's orange cones at a location, you all have been notified. But if not, give you a call. And it could be random. It could be all over the community.
Yes, and it's with all the rain, we've probably seen a few of it. I've seen several. But the first thing we'll do is go out and look at it. And a lot of times we just take a shovel to the inlet. Just try
just clean out the area.
And a lot of times that just dumps right in, so you see it immediately affected. If it's not the inlet and we can't do that, what's going to happen is once it goes down, we'll come back out the next day and we'll clean the pipes. So it won't happen the next rain we got. It won't do you any good for that one time, but with the rain, how much we've
seen quite
figured
a
out,
bit.
we figured out what some of our problem spots are, and we've taken care of those. But there are always going to be more.
Right, and it seems to be that there's a few areas that seem to always do that. Of course, on Ash Street, we know there's several locations on Ash, and same thing on Royal. We know that almost every time if we have a tremendous amount of rain, I'm not sure if it continues to get stopped up in those areas because the water is flowing down there so frequently, or what, but I know you all are constantly going down there making sure everything is cleaned out and taken care of.
We have some problem spots that we know are low in the system.
Exactly.
And again, it's not because of backup from the river, it's just because of how the system is designed, that's where the water flows downhill. So those areas, if it is stopped up, that gets backed up first, that gets flooded first. So those low areas we do know of, and we make sure that those are cleaned out before big rains come.
Exactly. Great. Well, moving forward with the hurricane season that we're in, so other than that one particular area or one particular thing that the community needs to watch for, like your cones and reporting those things, is there anything else that they need to be aware of moving forward?
Yes, well, with hurricane season, of course, we're going to get some strong winds. And strong winds means limbs going to fall down, trees going to fall down, and of course we do take care of leaf and limbs. But I just want to let everyone know that a leaf and limb schedule is the same schedule as the recycling schedule. But there's a couple caveats on that. We will take your leaf and limbs, the limbs in particular, but we only take up to a 12-inch diameter. So
if we
1
cut
foot
down
round.
if we cut down a big limb, we need to cut it into pieces.
Well, yeah, and 4 feet long.
4 feet long, and put it out maybe with your recycling?
Yes.
Is that the area we need to
Yeah,
put all of our
exactly.
limbs?
So put it right by recycling, and when we have a big storm, we have a lot of leaf and limbs falling. So we may get backed up. On a normal, if you're just doing some normal maintenance of the yard, we should pick it up, normal recycling. When we have a big storm, we get a 1 or 2 week backup. So if we miss it and your recycling was picked up, don't worry, we're going to come and get you. But we just have a lot of leaf and limbs. So
yeah, that season it gets very busy, and all over the city there's going to be a tremendous amount. We know when we walk out of our houses after a big storm, you can just look in down your driveway and see leaves and limbs everywhere.
Absolutely.
So we know you're going to get a little backed up. and we have to be patient. We don't have to call you over and over, right?
Absolutely. And the reason for those limits is not really for us removing them, it's for what we do with them.
What do you do with them?
We have a compost plant run by Miss Karen Brashear, director, and her machine is, well, it's much more expensive than our machines. And they can only take up to a certain diameter, size, and length. So what we do with that is we turn them into compost.
Exactly.
And so there's a grinder machine. It's a several $100,000 machine, and there's just limits to what they can take. So we can pick it up, but we have nothing to do with it. So that's where the limits come from.
Okay. Well, that's understandable. So cut up your limbs 4 feet in diameter.
In length.
In length, sorry. Not diameter. That would be a mighty large limb.
That's a mighty oak.
Yeah, that is a mighty oak. Put it out by your recycling area. You'll pick them up on recycling days unless it's a large storm. That is good to know. Well, moving forward, tell us about, you recently had a ride where you went out with some of your sanitation teams and you actually put on the uniforms, participated, and you basically had a day in the life of our sanitation team. Tell us how that went, Jose.
Yeah, it went great. You know, I had respect for these guys beforehand, but I absolutely have it now. And it's something that I keep telling my guys. The citizens may not see me, may not see the city manager, they may not see a lot of the actual leaders, but they see these guys out in the field on a weekly basis. They are the face of the city, and they are treated that way. I mean, when a citizen sees somebody and thinks of the city, they don't think of me. They think of those guys on the back of the truck. And riding with them, it's nice to see their personalities.
And their interaction, exactly.
They're on the back of the truck, and they had a great time. And then this is a normal work day, and they would call people by name, normal citizens.
Yep.
So I earned a huge respect for that, but also the work. You know,
I
thank them for the job they do. I absolutely do. So I learned a lot of some of the things that they have to go through, and I came back with a different type of respect and some ideas how to make it a little better.
That's fantastic. Well, I know Wayne and I, we went out one day and actually filmed some of the guys doing their job, and honestly, I was surprised at how hard the work is and what a good outlook most of the guys really seem to have throughout the day whenever they're interacting with the neighbors and the different people along their route. And you're right, they knew them by name. They knew how each person was going to react back to them, and it was really friendly and eye-opening to see how they spend their day. It really does give you a even greater respect for what they do every single day for us throughout the community.
It is a community, and it's kind of funny because we have some citizens that they know their refuse person, they know the person that does the grass cutting, and if someone else shows up, they don't like it.
Right.
It's like
they have expected to see the same faces, right?
So I mean, it absolutely is community, and these guys they deserve everything we can give them. So a lot of respect for the guys, the frontline workers.
Well, and you, Jose, have got a new initiative that you are using to actually give them kudos and give them an award for doing such a great job. Tell us a little about your new initiative.
And exactly, this is kind of stemmed from my new respect, but the frontline workers, they deserve my respect. They do a lot of hard work, and I was trying to think of a way to show it to them. Just saying thank you only goes so far. But I started a new initiative. I call it Leader of the Pack, and of course that's with my history with my college days. And it's Carolina country, so it was some joking around when I told the name of it.
I can only imagine.
But what it is anytime a frontline worker, so supervisors are not eligible for this, but frontline workers, anytime they do something out of the ordinary, above and beyond, or anytime we get a call from someone that says, we had this problem and it was fixed immediately, so handwritten responses, it all puts their name in the hat. So what we do is anytime they get something that's above and beyond, we give them a certificate, and that goes into a permanent record. But in addition to that certificate, which is given out once every month and every other month, depending on how many we have, every quarter we have a drawing, multiple drawings. For this time around, thank you for the Paramount Theater, because they gave 2 tickets, and they actually gave 4 sets, one for every quarter. Talk with the golf course, they actually gave 4 sets of green fees, one for every quarter. Nice. But I also got a hold of the NC State Wolfpack Club, and they're giving out 2 sets of football tickets. So one for one for the first drawing and one for the end. So I asked them, I said, could we get a game for the beginning of the season and a game for the end of the season? And they said yes. So what
you're going to have these Carolina fans going to the NC State game? How did you manage that?
Well, when I first came on board, I told them I'm recruiting. I'm recruiting fans, and And there's a couple things I'm doing here and there, but I actually have one gentleman, a guy that was on the back of the truck with me. He's wearing my NC State hat when he goes out, and he's a Carolina fan through and through, but he calls it his trophy because it was the hat I was wearing.
Okay.
So he has a bright orange NC State hat that he's wearing, but you know, it's a fun day no matter who you're rooting for.
Exactly.
It's going out, it's seeing a live competition, and it's fun. So even though it's not maybe their preferred team, it's a fun day.
They're at a college fun game.
It's absolutely. So what I actually would love to do, or love to ask for, is if you know of anyone or if you see someone that's doing above and beyond, please let them know. And this is not just for sanitation. This is for all my divisions. So for the cemetery, we get compliments on our cemetery. Our cemetery is a beautiful facility, and it's very well taken care of. So we've gotten letters saying, you know, thank you so much for my friend that has a permanent place to rest. So every time that happens, the whole crew gets one. So streets, storm, all the divisions across. So if you see something that's really gets your attention,
above and beyond,
let me know, please.
And they can do this by calling the main number that's on the screen.
Yes.
And also, I haven't told you this before, but with the city, we've now created a survey card, and it will be printed actually in the next day or two.
Oh, okay.
And we'll have these cards throughout the city at the different departments. And there'll be some at your department as well, of course. And you can use those to actually write the person's name, or you can say where you live and what they did, or what your interaction was. And you can return these cards by putting them in the mail or just taking them back to City Hall, either way.
And I'm sure that will get to me. That would be perfect. That's a nice and easy way of doing it. Absolutely, that will work.
Yep, fantastic. Well, thank you, Jose. That is really a great new way for the community to help out and say thank you to those people who do above and beyond their job every day. But you know what? Who doesn't like to get a pat on the back every now and again?
That's it.
And good for you for actually realizing that that is needed in your department, or all your departments, or all your divisions, I should say. And you know, that's a great way to motivate people to want to do even better, to step up their game a little bit.
And what I like about it is I present these certificates in front of everybody once a month.
In front of their peers.
Exactly. So when they come up, it was funny because I had the meeting, and when they first came up, nobody was really too excited about it, but by the end of the meeting, everybody was joking and clapping and having a good time. So I think it got the result for the first time around. We just did it 1 month so far.
Okay.
So
good for you.
I like it so far.
I'm sure you do, and I'm sure the guys will live up to that. And each month it'll become a bigger deal, and they will look forward to hearing their name called.
And I want to see if I can get something done for basketball season too. So.
There you go for all you state fans out there. Well, thank you, Jose. We appreciate you coming in and keeping us updated on what's happening with Public Works here in the city of Goldsboro.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us, and that's WGTV Today.
In the studio, we are safe today because we have all these people from the fire department with us this morning, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, from the fire department, we have Officer Whitley and Officer Eason. And folks, who are these guys behind us here?
These are our fire explorers.
Fire explorers from the Scouts.
Yes, sir.
All right, the explorers. Now, I understand this is part of the fire academy that is. Tell me about the fire academy here in Goldsboro.
Well, they actually attended a fire academy at Wayne Community College that was sponsored. Some of the members behind me went to the academy, and what they did was they took certifications to become a firefighter to get their 1403 certification.
What does that mean? What is a 1403 certification?
A 1403 certification is a lower certification in order to get your firefighter 1 and 2. It's a sort of a starter program. You get those certifications, and then you can work to your firefighter 1 and 2.
Okay.
Once you get your 1403, you can go into a burn building, fight fire, stuff like that.
Okay. So how does this help these explorers here, Officer Eason?
Well, it gives them an insight to what we do on a daily basis. And we have like ride-along programs. On Saturdays, they come in and just see what we do. Is like Saturdays is cleanup day. We clean up the building, wash the fire trucks, and just eat and enjoy. You know, and they also run calls with us too.
Do they? All right. Now we have 4 with us here. Is this all of the participants, or were there more? Or?
There's actually 11 of us.
11. All right. And what is your role in this?
I'm a consultant. What I do is I'm just a trainer. When it comes on Mondays between the hours of 6 to 8, they come to the station and we train them on how to become a firefighter.
All right. And to your knowledge, are all these participants planning on becoming firefighters?
A few of them are.
There's a few of them are.
Okay. Well, some of them are just doing it for the training, or others are what? They've decided, well, I'm going to try this, and maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, or what?
So some of it's that way, and then some of it's also just another aspect, another career opportunity for them. If they decide they want to do this, they can have the opportunity later on to pursue
And
the
then
fire.
they'll have that 1403. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So how does communities in schools take part in this, become a part of it?
Well, actually, during the school year at the Goldsboro High School, we actually have a program at the high school on Monday through Wednesday, and it's 3 hours a day. And what it is the students at the Goldsboro High School actually have the opportunity for firemen to come in and teach them how to be a fireman. We take them out doing searching, climbing ladders, fire behavior, stuff like that. And then they also could have the opportunity to come join the Fire Explorers on Monday night.
What more would they have to do to become a full-fledged fireman?
After they take their 1403, they actually go through and finish the whole program, the whole Firefighter 1-2 program. And once they finish that, they have to go get their EMT. And once they complete their EMT, then they can apply with the City of Goldsboro and get a job with the City of Goldsboro.
Okay. Anybody here, are all four of you guys planning on becoming firemen with the City of Goldsboro or somewhere else? Are you planning on becoming a fireman?
I think it would be nice.
Okay. All right, that's your plan? You already are?
Yeah, he's a volunteer out in the county
Okay, great. Good for you.
And he's also the president
of the Fire
group.
Explorer program.
Okay,
Yes.
outstanding.
So he's a good leader.
That's great. Is this a new program? Communities in Schools and the Explorers, is this a new program?
Well, the community in schools has been going on for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's actually just starting to really pick up these last 2 years. And then the Explorer program started last year, so we're actually 1 year into this.
Okay. And how does a student become part of this? And what do they have to do? What qualifies them?
As long as you're the ages of 14 to 18, well, 14 to 20, I'm sorry. 14 to 20, you can actually be a member of the Fire Explorer program. It's open to anybody in Wayne County. All you got to do is come to Station 1, talk to Chief Johnson, get an application, fill it out, bring it back, and then you're pretty much a member.
Is she there about all the time?
Yeah, she's there Monday.
She lives there, I believe, doesn't she?
She's there Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 and 5.
Yeah, all right. Very good. Well, I appreciate you guys coming by and talking with us about all this, and I thank you very much. First of all, thank you for your service to our community. You do a great job, and we're very proud of our fire department here in Goldsboro.
Well, thank you
very much for everything you do. All right? Very good.
Nice
Thank you
meeting
very
you.
much again for being with us.
Now that was some really interesting information. I'm really happy they shared all that.
I am too.
So, you guys, I hope you enjoyed all that. You're back with us now, though. It's a good thing, in our opinion. Now, Casey, we talked about center stage and stage struck and acting in Goldsboro and all that. What was your inspiration? Do you have any inspiration sprouting from that?
You know, my initial inspiration was actually my best friend that I had grown up with, Michael Atkins, had been doing theater his entire life, and he was a little bit older than I was. And he told me, you know, Casey, you are so dramatic. You just fit in perfect in this atmosphere. So I decided to go out one day and try out, and I was very small. I think I was in 6th grade at the time, and I felt so overwhelmed whenever I got in there with all the big kids in stage struck. But I got in, and immediately it was a second family. It was a home away from home. I fell in love with the atmosphere. I found all new best friends. I still have all of them, mostly actually today. And even though a lot of us are going off to college, as Donald mentioned earlier, we're still going to meet up with each other, I'm sure. It's just, you develop friendships that last a lifetime, and really there's nothing you would ever trade for that.
Mm-hmm. And my story is, it starts out a little bit less, you know, I have this inspiration going into it. Like I said, mine was kind of a by chance thing, getting into stage struck. Me taking the voice lessons, however, that led into me finding out about auditions. I have this music teacher. His name's Mr. Kenneth Morris. Skip, I had an interview with Wayne Alley previously, and I kind of mentioned him. So here's kind of the elaboration on the story. Now, I never had a real father growing up. I didn't. That's a sad fact. He did some things when he was around a few years younger, and it just didn't end up well. So whenever I got into middle school, I took that music class, and I had Mr. Kenneth Morris. And that 6th grade year, I took it for 6 weeks, just like everyone else, and I said, you know, I really like this. And he helped me find my voice. And then 7th grade year, I took it again, this time for the full semester, as a 7th grader can at Eastern Wayne Middle School. And I made a bond with him. He became so much more than just a music teacher to me. And then I took him 8th grade year for actually the entire year. And he still is the most important man in my life. And to this day, I would not hesitate a moment to call him a father. And he has made such a large impact. And I honestly don't know where I would be without him, his impact on me. He made me find myself vocally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, etc., etc. He's a great man, and I think he's made me into at least a good man.
You know, it's wonderful that Wayne County's just full of people like that, people that we can look to as father figures, mother figures, best friends. You know, that's just how you know you have a good hometown. So.
It is. It's really nice when you're driving down the road and you can just drive by someone and look in their window just out of a glance, and you can see someone you know, and you can wave to them, or just someone you don't know. I was driving by a tractor the other day. I just flipped my hand up at him, just saying hey, and he did the same to me. And it's just those little meetings in life that's really nice, that it's really a good thing that we have in small town like this. And I love that. I absolutely love that about the country.
It really is. You know, going back to theater that we were talking about earlier, you had mentioned the Christmas Carol auditions, and I wanted to make sure for all of you fellow thespians or maybe aspiring thespians that want to come out and get involved, the dates and the location of those auditions will be at Wayne Community College.
And I gave the dates, but we'll say them one more time.
Just to be sure. Wayne Community College in the Dogwood building. Room
Dogwood 201.
201. It's in the music room. It's really big. It's on the 2nd floor. And it's at 7 o'clock, right?
It'll probably be around 7 o'clock. You can always check Center Stage's website, which is CS Theater. Theater spelled THEATRE.org. Did we plan that? We didn't plan that. We just, R-E.
Worked out chemistry,
R-E.
right?
So it's thestheater.org. That is THEATRE.org. And then for Stage Struck information, they have a lot of great shows coming up. They have Treasure Island. And then in the spring, we have the premiere of Footloose. And if you want to check out things like that, you can go to stagestruck.org. Stagestruck, STAGESTRUCK.org. And you can find out numbers to call. You can find out emails to get with, just in case they don't have the information right up there. But you know, I think it's amazing. I just think it's amazing we have things like that. And again, I don't know where I'd be without everything.
Exactly.
So it's been a wonderful time being with you guys. We'll see you guys another time, all right? I've been Donald Sutton.
I've been Casey Scarborough.
Goodbye.